Today is Good Friday. It's also National Find a Rainbow Day. And I want to start with the rainbow because a rainbow doesn't care about your zip code. It appears in East New York the same way it appears in the Hamptons, over the same sky, with the same colors, with complete indifference to the neighborhood underneath it. The rainbow doesn't know what was installed there, what the environment communicated about what was safe, what was possible, who got to lead, what women from the block were supposed to want. The rainbow shows up anyway, equally without adjustment. What the zip code installed, that's a different story entirely. I'm Liz St. James. At H2P Collective, we work with people and teams to use their problems as the doorway to their goals. We have a 5-step framework called Synovial Space that takes a systems thinking, multi-dimensional approach to attaining goals. Some of what's weighing you down right now, you didn't create it, you inherited it. And nobody told you that you could put it down. I grew up in East New York, Brooklyn, and the things I absorbed in that environment about what was safe, what was possible, who got to lead, what women like me were supposed to want, none of that came with a label that said, this is someone else's conclusion, not yours. It arrived as truth, delivered by people who believed it, who received it from people who believed it before them. Good Friday carries a specific idea that I keep returning to, that what was handed to you does not have to be the final word. That inheritance, even when it's painful, is not destiny. Here's what makes this particularly hard to see. Inherited restriction doesn't feel inherited. It feels like yours. It feels like self-knowledge. It feels like wisdom gathered from experience until you trace it back and find that the experience it came from wasn't yours. It was your mother's or your father's or the neighborhood's or the institutions or the cultures. What was installed has an origin point. That's not an accusation toward anyone who installed it. It's a diagnostic fact. And what was has an origin point that can be examined. That examination is not betrayal of where you came from. It's the beginning of a narrative that's actually built from your own evidence. Take one belief you carry about what's possible for you, one that creates limitation. Ask, did I conclude this from my own experience, or was this given to me before I had the experience to evaluate it? If it was given to you, that's the starting point. Not a verdict, a doorway. The free Synovial Space Diagnostic at h2pcollective.com gives you an honest snapshot of where you are across all 8 dimensions of your life. But a snapshot on its own is just data. What turns it into a roadmap is the conversation. Your goals, your results, and the insight Raphael and I bring to both. That's where we find the one change that creates movement everywhere else. Take your goal, start with the diagnostic. That's the first step. Good Friday, National Find a Rainbow Day, 2 observances on the same day pointing at the same truth from completely different directions. The rainbow doesn't adjust for the zip code. It appears anyway, equally, over every neighborhood that ever told someone like you what was and what wasn't possible. The inheritance doesn't have to be the final word. The rainbow was always there.